The invitation arrived without a sender, without a ship, and without explanation. It appeared on the desk of Dr. Armin Hale at precisely 3:17 station time, materializing out of thin air in a quiet laboratory orbiting Europa. One moment, the desk was empty. The next, a single sheet of translucent material rested atop his scattered notes, glowing faintly with a shifting spectrum of colors that seemed almost alive. Armin stared at it for a long time before touching it. He had spent his entire life studying the possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence. He had written papers dismissed as speculative fiction, proposed theories that earned him ridicule, and spent years chasing signals that always dissolved into cosmic noise. And now something had answered. The sheet felt warm beneath his fingers. Symbols rearranged themselves across its surface, first chaotic, then structured, then unmistakably readable. You are invited. Below that, coordinates. And a time. Armin didn't sleep again that night. The transport came exactly when the invitation said it would. No alarm sounded. No docking clearance was requested. The station systems didn't even register its presence. It simply appeared, hovering silently beyond the observation window like a distortion in space itself. It wasn't a ship in any conventional sense. There were no visible engines, no seams, no defined shape. It looked like a fragment of reality peeled back and folded into something new. Armin stood at the airlock, heart pounding. "This is insane," muttered Lena Voss behind him, the station's security chief. "You don't have to come," Armin said. "I know," she replied. "But if you disappear into whatever that thing is, someone needs to be there to shoot it." He almost smiled. The airlock opened, and gravity shifted. The interior of the vessel was larger than it should have been, vast, cathedral-like, yet without walls in the traditional sense. Surfaces curved and flowed like liquid architecture, constantly rearranging themselves as if responding to thought rather than physical laws. Armin felt something brush against his mind. Not invasive, not hostile, just aware. "Do you feel that?" Lena whispered. "Yes." "Good. I was hoping it wasn't just me losing it." A path formed ahead of them, an opening in the shifting structure. They followed it. They didn't speak again. Time lost meaning inside the vessel. It could have been minutes. It could have been hours. Eventually, the path opened into something that took Armin's breath away. A hall. No, the hall. It stretched beyond sight in all directions, vast and luminous, filled with beings of impossible variety. Some stood tall and radiant, others coiled and shifting. Some seemed made of light, others of matter, so dense it bent the air around them. It was a gathering, a convergence, a banquet. "They're all different," Lena whispered. Armin nodded slowly. "Different species, different origins." "How many?" He shook his head. "I don't think that question applies here." At the center of the hall stood a long, curved arrangement of structures resembling tables, but again, only vaguely. They seemed to be grown rather than built, their surfaces alive with subtle motion. Seats surrounded them, each one occupied, except for one. It was near the center, slightly elevated, unmistakably important. "Don't," Lena said immediately. "I wasn't going to." "Yes, you were," she snapped. "I know that look." Armin swallowed. Every instinct told him to stay back, to observe, to understand before acting. But something else pulled at him. A quiet certainty, like a memory he didn't remember having. "I think we're expected," he said. "Expected doesn't mean welcome." He took a step forward, then another. No one stopped him. No one reacted. The hall continued its low hum of alien presence, as if his existence barely registered. Until he reached the seat. Up close, it was unlike the others. Where the surrounding structures shimmered with shifting energy, this one was still. solid, almost human in its proportions. Waiting. Lena grabbed his arm. Armin, don't you dare. He looked at her. I need to know. Or you're about to get us both killed. Then stay back. She hesitated, then let go. 5 seconds, she said. If something looks wrong, I'm dragging you out of there. He nodded and sat. The moment he did, the hall went silent. Not gradually. Instantly. Every sound, every motion, gone. Dozens, hundreds, perhaps thousands of alien entities turned toward him. And for the first time, Armin understood fear. Something shifted at the far end of the hall. A presence unlike the others. Where the rest were varied, chaotic, unknowable, this one was singular. Focused. Intentional. She moved forward. The alien princess. Armin didn't know how he knew that. The concept simply formed in his mind, fully realized. She was tall, taller than any human, but her form carried an elegance that felt almost familiar. Her body seemed woven from strands of light and shadow, constantly shifting, yet always cohesive. Patterns moved across her surface, like living constellations. And her eyes. They were the only fixed thing about her. Sharp, ancient, dangerous. She's coming toward you, Lena whispered, her voice barely audible. I can see that, Armin replied, though his throat felt dry. The princess stopped a few steps away from him. The entire hall seemed to hold its breath. You sit in a place not meant for you. The voice echoed inside his mind. Clear, cold, precise. Armin forced himself to speak. I didn't know. That is irrelevant. A ripple passed through the gathered beings. Not movement. Not sound. Something deeper. Judgment. Lena raised her weapon. Say the word, she muttered. I don't like this. Put it down, Armin said quietly. Are you serious? She hasn't attacked us. Yet. The princess tilted her head slightly. You bring a defender. She insisted, Armin said. A wise instinct, the princess replied, though insufficient. Lena stiffened. Yeah? Want to test that? Lena, Armin warned. The princess's gaze returned to him. You have taken a position of decision. What does that mean? Another ripple moved through the hall. Every cycle, she said, one among us is chosen to determine the fate of a rising species. Armin blinked. I'm sorry, what? You sit in the seat of judgment. His stomach dropped. No. That's a mistake. There are no mistakes here. The weight of her words settled over him. Which species? He asked slowly. The princess stepped closer. Her presence pressed against his mind, vast and overwhelming. Yours. Lena swore under her breath. You've got to be kidding me. Armin's thoughts raced. This is some kind of test, right? A misunderstanding? It is neither. I'm not qualified to judge an entire species. You are present, she said. That is qualification enough. The hall stirred again. Expectation. Anticipation. Something darker. What happens if I refuse? Armin asked. The princess studied him. Refusal is a decision. And the result? She didn't answer immediately. When she did, her voice carried something new. Something heavier. Extinction. Silence crushed the space around them. Lena stepped forward. Okay, that's enough. We're leaving. No, Armin said. She stared at him. Excuse me? If what she's saying is true, it's insane. Then walking away is still a choice. And apparently a deadly one. The princess watched them with quiet intensity. You have little time, she said. The cycle closes. Armin looked out across the hall, at the countless beings observing him, waiting, judging. What are the criteria? He asked. Potential, the princess replied. For what? Continuation. evolution, harmony, or destruction? Armin exhaled slowly. And you? What do you think? A faint shift in her expression, if it could be called that. I do not decide. But you have an opinion. A pause. Then, yes. And he pressed. The princess's gaze hardened. Your species is volatile. That's one way to put it. You create. You destroy. Often in the same breath. Fair. You reach beyond your limits without understanding the consequences. Also fair. Lena crossed her arms. Wow. She's not wrong. Not helping, Armin muttered. But you are not without merit, the princess continued. Armin looked up. Then why the doubt? Because potential alone is not enough. The hall darkened slightly, not physically, but perceptually, as if the weight of the moment was altering reality itself. You must choose, the princess said. Based on what? Your understanding of your kind. Armin laughed bitterly. That's the problem. I do understand us. And he hesitated. Images flashed through his mind. Wars. Innovation. Cruelty. Compassion. Humanity in all its contradictions. We're flawed, he said quietly. Yes. We hurt each other. We make terrible decisions. Yes. We're dangerous. A pause. Yes. Lena looked at him. Armin, but, he continued, we're also capable of change. The princess said nothing. We've done horrible things, but we've also learned from them. Slowly, painfully, but we learn. Not always, she said. No, not always. But sometimes is enough. The hall seemed to lean in. Listening. You're asking me to judge whether we deserve to exist, Armin said. Yes. That's not something anyone should decide. Yet you must. He looked at Lena, at the fear in her eyes, at the determination, at the humanity. If I say we don't deserve it, he said slowly, you'll wipe us out? Yes. And if I say we do? Then your species continues. It sounded simple. It wasn't. What about the others? He asked, gesturing to the hall. They have made their choices, the princess said. And they agreed to the system? They are the system. Armin closed his eyes, took a breath, then another. This isn't just about us, is it? He said. The princess tilted her head. Explain. You're not just testing humanity. You're testing me. A faint ripple of something, interest perhaps, passed through her. Continue. If I judge us worthy without acknowledging our flaws, I'm naive. Yes. If I judge us unworthy because of our flaws, I ignore our potential. Yes. So the real question isn't whether humanity is perfect. It is not. It's whether we're worth the risk. The hall pulsed. The princess stepped closer. Are you? Armin opened his eyes and met her gaze. Yes, he said. The word echoed, not just in the hall, but beyond it, through layers of reality Armin could barely comprehend. Lena let out a breath she didn't realize she'd been holding. The princess studied him for a long moment. Then, she smiled. It was subtle, alien, but unmistakable. A bold answer, she said. An honest one. The hall erupted, not in chaos, but in motion. Light surged. Form shifted. The gathered beings responded in ways Armin couldn't fully understand, but the energy was clear. The decision had been accepted. It is done, the princess said. Armin felt the weight lift. Not completely, but enough. So, what now? Lena asked. The princess turned to her. You return. Just like that? Yes. Lena blinked. Huh. I was expecting more consequences. There will be, the princess said. Armin frowned. What does that mean? She looked at him. Directly. Deeply. You have changed the trajectory of your species, she said. That carries weight. I figured. You will remember this. Also figured. A pause. Then, you will guide them. Armin blinked. I'm sorry, what? You have seen what lies beyond your world, she said. You understand the stakes. That doesn't make me a leader. It makes you necessary. Lena smirked. Congratulations. You just got promoted to save humanity. Great, Armin muttered. The hall began to dissolve. Not collapse, but recede, as if reality itself was folding back into something smaller. The princess stepped closer one last time. You sat in the wrong seat, she said. Armin nodded.
Yeah,
I did. And yet, she continued, you made the right choice. Before he could respond, the world vanished. Armin gasped as he stumbled forward, back into the Europa Station airlock. Cold metal. Familiar gravity. Normal space. Lena was beside him, equally disoriented. Well, she said after a moment, that was something. Armin looked down at his hands. Still trembling. Still real. Do you think anyone will believe us? She asked. He thought about it, then shook his head.
no.
Lena shrugged. Figures. Alarms began to sound. Normal ones. Routine. Comforting. Armin looked out the observation window. The strange vessel was gone. The stars were still. But something had changed. Far beyond human perception, in a hall that existed outside time and space, the princess watched. And for the first time in countless cycles, she wondered, because one human had done something unexpected. He had chosen hope. And sometimes, that was enough to change destiny.